Let's walk through how to install HotBot from the moment you arrive on site. Once you arrive, introduce yourself to the resident. Confirm you're at the right address and let them know you'll need to switch their water heater and hot water supply off during the installation. Before starting, verify the water heater's compatibility using the exclusion list in the supporting material which you received during training. This list outlines situations or specific models where HotBot's installation is unsafe or ineffective. Check the list for details and pay attention to compatibility concerns for the resident's specific water heater type, location, and plumbing. You may be able to fix some compatibility issues for the resident for their own account, but in general, if the water heater is not compatible, the installation needs to be abandoned. You then need to inform both the resident and Plentify why you're abandoning the installation. For now, the compatibility guide is supplied as supporting material in PDF format, but in future, it will be accessible through the installer app. If the water heater is compatible, then you're good to continue with the installation. Turn off the power at the main DB. Cover the switch with insulation tape so that no one accidentally flips it back on while you're working. Find the mains water supply line or the water heater stopcock and close it. With the water heater in front of you, switch the isolator off and close the water supply to the water heater. Remember to bypass any timers. This lets HotBot take control of the heating process in a much smarter way than conventional timers. Open up the HotBot enclosure by removing its screws. Remove the battery tab to power it on. The LED will flash various colors while it powers up. Wait for a blue light indicating that HotBot is connected to Plentify servers. Doing this step now saves time later by letting it connect to the Plentify server while you continue to set up. If it does not turn blue for a while, disconnect the battery by pulling the battery connector away from the battery momentarily and then reseating it. The LED should switch off and then cycle through the colors again. Mount HotBot upright on a wall or a beam, about 1 meter from the water heater. Place it so all the sensors and the power cable reach comfortably. We don't recommend mounting it directly below the water heater. Use the big cable ties in your installer pack. If there are wooden beams, use the self-tapping screws provided in your installer pack for mounting. If there are concrete walls, drill 6mm holes with a masonry drill and use the wall plugs and self-tapping screws for mounting. After mounting HotBot, you can start with sensor installation. Refer to the color coding on the sensors and ports, as well as the instruction labels on the sensors. Position the red outlet sensor on the hot water outlet pipe, making sure it's half a meter away from the water heater's outlet. Attach it using the provided O-ring by pulling it around the pipe and clipping it into the pipe clip here. Cable ties may be used as an alternative. For the white wetness sensor, lay it diagonally across the drip tray, as flat as possible. Make sure the sensor does not touch or coil up on itself. Attach the blue inlet sensor as close as possible to your water heater's cold water inlet pipe. Attach it using the provided O-ring by pulling it around the pipe and clipping it into the pipe clip here. Remove the water heater's cover to access the thermostat. Always remember to use a multimeter to double check there is no electricity where you're about to work. Unscrew the live, earth, and neutral from the thermostat and water heater. Clip off the exposed copper ends and re-strip them to ensure they don't break off when reinstalled. Remove the thermostat from the pocket and set it to 65 degrees Celsius, paying attention to the dial direction for setting. This enables HotBot to have the full temperature range across which to control water heater temperature. To avoid mechanical errors, make sure you zero the thermostat out before adjusting the temperature. Gently slide the yellow thermostat sensor into the thermostat pocket until it bottoms out. Hold the sensor in place by pressing it down onto the water heater faceplate with your thumb, while gently reinserting the thermostat with your other hand. This sensor is fragile, so be very careful to avoid kinking it. Connect the isolator cable to the left side of the HotBot's green terminals. This is labeled in from mains. Take care to connect the live, earth, and neutral in the correct screw terminals. Grab the extra power cable supplied and route it as needed. Connect it to the right side of HotBot's green terminals, labeled out to geyser. Attach the other end to the live and neutral of the thermostat's live and neutral, and the earth to the water heater as normal. Confirm the correct live and neutral positioning on the thermostat. Double check all connections on HotBot and the water heater. Tug gently on each cable end to confirm the terminals grip the wires securely. For multi-strand cables, make sure to twist the strands before inserting them into the terminals to prevent bridging stray strands. Turn on the power at the isolator and DB and listen for the click. Once everything is securely connected, it's time for the final touches. Route and secure all the cables using the cable ties provided. Keep them out of the way to avoid trip hazards or obstructions for future maintenance. With a clean cable layout, carefully close up HotBot. This does not mean the installation is complete. You will still need to validate HotBot on the installer app. If you have any questions, the user manual and our support team are always here to help.